talk about the big booty cheeks bill. What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is Dawson. Our broadcast coming to you live from not so sunny, another gloomy day here, cloudy California, Los Angeles, living on stolen land. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is January 6th, and it's a very special day for all of those who celebrate, for all of those who enjoy taking back what's ours, honorable men, women, all of the same exact variety, same exact background, jet ski dealership owners from all around the nation storm the halls of the Capitol and successfully try to take back what's theirs, something that was stolen from them. And they were surrounded by Antifa, but they were also brave patriots. And the brave patriots got arrested, and the Antifa never did, because Joe Biden was actually responsible for January 6th, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, why'd you say Trump thinks all Venezuelans are rapists? Crazy, crazy take. Dude, the maximum copium from Venezuelans is been really funny to watch here. We just started. Is that really a crazy take? He wants to deport every single Venezuelan. Venezuelans are the new Mexicans. If you're Venezuelan, you're the new Mexican. Just know. All right. We just got started, and there's still motherfuckers being like, excuse me, sir. Source. I don't know. Maybe he campaigned on deporting every Venezuelan. Were you guys not paying attention? When did he say that? Brother, good luck to you. Some of you motherfuckers are completely living on a different planet. Although they were initially invited, 600,000 are about to lose their temporary protected status because of this administration. And there's still hella Venezuelans in the building being like, no, you don't understand. He actually loves me. He want me. He want me. Nah, dude, he want me. I can't believe you're out here talking about how Trump said all the Venezuelans are bad. Okay, well, your temporary protected status is bye-bye. Why do you think that is? How are you going to dick ride a president that's literally saying, like, get off my dick? You just told me, brother, provided no source and told me good luck. I don't get it. I love you, HASAN. I watch you every day with grace. I disagree with a lot of shit you say, but watch. When did he give the impression that all Venezuelans are that? Oh, shit, dude. I didn't realize that he didn't mean all the Venezuelans. He meant like some of the Venezuelans. Is that what we're doing right now? Are you actually Venezuelan? Or are you a Trump dick rider who is trying to cope and defend what Trump is saying? Because what do you think this is? TPS is over for every Venezuelan. What do you think the Trendaragua shit was? When Donald Trump was talking about MS-13, do you think he actually was calling just the MS-13 guys animals? Or do you think he was calling all undocumented migrants animals, but he was just presenting it as like MS-13, claiming that all undocumented migrants are MS-13? Do you think that when he talks about Trendaragua, he's like specifically talking about this low-level street gang that was built inside of a fucking prison that has no emphasis whatsoever in American domestic or foreign policy until this past year, when noticeably around the election cycle, they seemingly started really beefing up the notion that Trendaragua was actually taking over apartment complexes? Do you think he's trying to develop a permission structure where he is trying to purge every single Venezuelan or most of the Venezuelans with white nativist sentiment from the American boundary? Or do you think he actually means like, oh, there are some Venezuelans who are bad and we want to get those bad Venezuelans out, but the rest of the Venezuelans are actually good and we want to keep them here? And if that's the case, why do you think he's actually taking away temporary protected status from 600,000 Venezuelans? Do you think that's because he's going to make this designation? Or do you think it's because every single Venezuelan that currently has temporary protected status is now going to be considered an enemy of the state? Like, how much more can this fucking rapist, possible pedophile, monstrous piece of shit talk about entire groups of entire population groups inside of the United States of America until you get it? You know, what do you want him to do? Literally fucking take a Venezuelan child and execute him on television? Is that when you're gonna actually go, you know what? I do think this guy might be a little bit of a racist, you know? Maybe he hates Venezuelans. Trump keeps calling Venezuelan and Congolese migrants criminals. And this is from like you know, this is from the election. Number of times Trump has called migrants from select countries criminals. Venezuela, 70 times. Wow. On top of that, he's taking the Venezuelan temporary protected status away. What do you think this is about? Do you think there is a reason to be concerned about Venezuelans and what they're up to inside of the United States of America? Do you think that's the reason? Do you think that's what's going on? You love the word dick rider, Lamau. How do you expel the criminals in the country that were let in? Brother, the point is, we already have a system in place. It's called the criminal justice system, where if someone does a crime, they're prosecuted. And then depending on the severity of the crime, or depending on how they will be apprehended, if they are deported, they might get deported, or sometimes they actually go to prison and then get deported once they actually carry out their sentence, once they're, you know, done with their sentence. It's almost needle in a haystack trying to get them one by one. Dude, how do you not realize you are currently advocating for dragnets against entire populations because you just decided that they're all migrants? What the fuck are you saying? That is unacceptable. That's not how the American Constitution works. This isn't even the Constitution. This is like Magna Carta shit, okay? This is what like in the entire concept of Western civilization was built on. How do you not recognize that you are advocating against that? Now, of course, this doesn't mean that we've actually followed through on these principles throughout the throughout the entirety of the development of Western civilization. Clearly, never really done that. When it comes to being colonial superpowers and things like that. But what's shocking to me is just like how careless these guys are in the way that they advocate for certain things without actually thinking about it whatsoever. Because what you don't realize here is that if we now have decided that the government can just decide, it's too hard to figure out who's doing a crime and who's not doing a crime, so you all gotta go. Number one, that's dictatorship. That is what dictators do. That's like what you understand is like Saddam Hussein doing to the Kurds, for example. And that's what you don't like when someone else is doing it, right? But now you're advocating to do it here. And what you also fail to consider is it might actually happen to you because you're nothing, right? In the eyes of this government, you're nothing. The reality of the matter is, and I know a lot of people get really fucking hurt when I say this, but we are all irrelevant, okay? We're nothing. We're not one of these like multi-billionaire, butt buddies of Donald Trump. We didn't go on the Jeffrey Epstein plane and minors, you know what I mean? So we're not like defending the interests of the nation state of Israel. So we're irrelevant, right? Like they are the only people that this administration cares about is basically like a handful of pedophiles. You're not one of the handful of pedophiles, right? What makes you think that inevitably this won't come down and bite you in the ass, right? You can so carelessly advocate for mass deportations against certain groups of people, and you just don't realize that eventually this will come back to you. Regardless of this conversation, I can see your POV, 100% your grace, but how do you expel the thousands of criminals with no trace in our country? Regardless of this conversation, I will continue to watch you, bro. Love your shit. No matter how much I disagree with certain takes, I appreciate everything you do. Okay, I'm glad that you're, appreciating my takes, but I don't want you to just appreciate my takes. I want you to like understand the point I'm making here, which is that if we normalize, if we decide that it's actually good to rip families apart, do dragnets, and start doing mass deportations on the virtue of what, their ethnic background is, right? Then you have to understand it will eventually come for you as well. That is not a justice system. That's not a criminal justice system at all. That's not our criminal justice system. That's not how it's supposed to be. I don't know how we're going to get this across to people, But that is dick riding. And you're dick riding for dick that don't want you to ride it. For the most part, unless you are on Lolita Express, you know what I'm saying? The dick that you're riding don't even want you. And eventually, the dick that you're riding will come for you too. The conquest of Venezuela was deserved. Sure, buddy. One day, you'll get a crumb of those super profits, you fucking peasant. Except you won't. You will never get a crumb of those super profits. It's not for you. Fuck communism. Yeah, dude. Fuck. Hell yeah, dude. Fuck communism. You are not a part of the team, little bro. I'm not even American. Extra pathetic. When I see stuff like this, I do legitimately understand why, like, America is inevitably going to take over Greenland, and every single fucking Euroid-cuck is going to be like, why does this happen? Maybe it's better that the Americanish are controlling the continent. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm Eastern European. I've lived during communism. Unlike you, I've experienced hell. Oh, dude, you are. Oh, don't worry. It's listen, depending on whichever way the Donroe doctrine goes, you might be back under not communism really, but under Russian protectorate soon. Okay. Kind of feels like they're just piecing the world up right now amongst like great regional powers with nuclear arms who do have ambition of territorial gain. Kind of feels like that's what's going on here. And we're all just sitting around. Okay, at least I'm sitting in the heart of the imperial core. You're not sitting anywhere. You're sitting in an apartment that used to be government owned, so at least you have like 90% home ownership rate, not realizing that like that was one of the many gains that the USSR delivered to you. That, and also allowing you to learn how to fucking read, which, to be fair, sometimes when I interact with people that say stuff like this, I do go back and forth on whether or not this was a big L and a major mistake of the USSR. Improving literacy rates in Eastern Europe, was that really that good? Because obviously once the fucking communism faucet shut down, what came next was a bunch of people who at least know how to type on the internet, but have lost critical thinking skills entirely. We were liberated by America. The USSR killed my grandfather just for speaking out. Yeah, no, I got it. This is going to get clipped and go global on Euro Twitter. As someone whose family is Polish, I do not think we deserve sovereignty. Oh, man. Oh, no. All of the fucking little gay Adolf Hitlers with globe emojis on their Twitter description are going to get mad at me in between talking about how awesome it is that America is fucking deposing and kidnapping foreign leaders, not realizing what this spells for their little country. You know what I mean? What do you think happens to your country, buddy? Now that we're living in the new world, what do you think happens to your country? Who saves your country? You think America gives a fuck about Poland? You think America gives a fuck about Lithuania? You think America gives a fuck about Estonia? Don't make me laugh, motherfucker. You're totally fucking cooked. At least Americans are like, oh, yeah, well, this is my team because, it's wearing my colors, right? It's not even wearing your colors. Yeah, your Balkan-coded law. As a Romanian, I'm terrified of what's happening. Yeah, anyone who doesn't understand that we are in a completely new multipolar world, but not in like a multipolar world where there's at least enough like motion or at least enough pushback that keeps America at bay, but a multipolar world where if you're a country that wants sovereignty and you do not have nukes, you're fucking cooked. You're done. You're cooked. You might as well just give up. You might as well immediately be like, Mr. President, please, I am servile. This is my firstborn. You can have my firstborn. Please put my firstborn on whoever the new Jeffrey Epstein is in his Lolita Express. You can have him. I am an anti-communist. And then, they're just like, get in the fuck pit at gunpoint. You're like, no, it's going to be good, though. This is good. At least we're not, I don't know, communist or something. Or the president doesn't give a shit about you and you get in the fuck pit, but this time Russian style. Yeah, because you're from America. Of course you talk like this. Yes, exactly. I think people need to remember, yes, I am an American and I am talking like this in America. I'm talking like this in America because I have a consistent position. I think American imperialism is devastating. I think all imperialism is devastating. It devastates those who are under the boot. But if I am supposed to be a high earner in the imperial core, and I'm telling you this, but you are living in an area that is, slated to be impacted by these kinds of actions, and you're telling me how good American imperialism actually is for you, well, then you kind of deserve it, Like, what can we say? What can I say? I'm a class trader, okay? You, on the other hand, are also a class trader, but it's actually dumb for you to be a class trader. It's just crazy where people do not understand. Like, I mean, we saw the example of this. We saw the example of this with European leaders basically being like, oh, it's so awesome that Donald Trump actually went in and ripped apart international norms and went and kidnapped and abducted a foreign leader, right? It was awesome. And then the next day, Donald Trump was like, I'm going to do this to Greenland too. And everyone was like, hold on, wait a minute. What? He can't do that to Greenland. I mean, come on, that's under white protectorate, right? Like that's that will never happen. And then Donald Trump's like, no, I'm actually pretty serious. You need to give me Greenland right now. And all the European leaders are like, okay, well, I guess it's fine. I don't know. Yeah, Greenland more like red, white, and blue land. Dude, this is so funny. Someone said, dream job. Maduro's motorcycle thugs go door to door and hunt for Trump supporters. Dream job. Dude, I'm voting for any Democrat that says this is what we're doing. Okay? I will be so blue-pilled, you don't understand. Yeah. Kamala Harris is bringing back the red guard. Kamala Harris is going to make it the blue guard, okay? Put me in charge, sir. Let me at him. That was what was going on in North Carolina. Yeah. That's basically resistance liberalism. Greenland literally stole our oil. True. I was just thinking that. I was thinking about how Greenland literally stole our oil. It's right there. They stole it. It's our oil. Greenland literally stole our land, honestly, because it's land that I want. It's my land. Okay, man, I live in a small peripheral country. You don't need to rub it in my nose how fucked I am, Lamau. Well, it's not even rubbing it in your nose. I'm not shitting on you if you're aware of your circumstances. I'm shitting on the people who are, your neighbors who are oblivious to their circumstances or actively demanding their own demise. Yeah, I know. I live in Uruguay. My only hope is a Brazilian lulag. Yeah, I think everyone is demanding this. I'm hearing more and more demands of lulags all around the world,